What are you doing? Pee? Doing your pee-pee? Oh. Well, Indra was a good friend of mine. He's Indonesian, and Ben was Techno's partner. Ben is Chinese, and Techno is actually Indonesian. Techno used to have a turtle. It was illegal for him to actually have the turtle because it's a baby turtle. Uh, you can buy turtle in Mentone and other aquarium, but they actually grow up and they're long-necked turtle. But Techno has from Bali, I think, or Indonesia. Either Bali or Indonesia is somehow illegally. He told me that illegally he actually put in his sock or in his pocket, and then when he caught the aeroplane back, he actually got it. But that the turtle he has got a beautiful pattern, and the babies they never grow; they're just a small one, and they're not in. He always have it as a pet, and the turtle always walk around the house. His unit. That's funny. Indra, yeah, Indra is a nice guy. He used to have a restaurant. He opened a restaurant in Springvale. I know exactly where it is, but later on he didn't survive. So now it's a hair salon. I know where it is. But anyway, Indra cooked a beautiful Indonesian food. I tried to figure it out. It's just beef, but it starts with R, Reagan or something. Only Indonesian people know what kind of food that is. Me, Gary, Techno, Ben, Indra, used to go out a lot to Dome nightclub, Red Raw, big, huge dance party, and Techno used to actually shout me as well because I was so young. I didn't have enough money to go out. I was still working at Safeway. That was during the PHPBB period. He used to work at Also Foundation, which is a gay and lesbian society, and then later on he moved to another job. He went to Brothers and Sisters, which is a gay and lesbian newspaper. Sorry, but anyway, he used to call me up. He goes, "Oh, do you want to go out? This huge dance party, $150." I said, "I don't have $150." And he goes, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'll shout you." And he paid for it. So, Techno is about 45 or 50 now. And then that's when he met that Filipino guy. What's that Filipino guy that used to go out?
What, not Indra?
No, the Filipino guy. That he used to drive Honda. He's a hairdresser. He lives in Springvale.
Oh no, can't remember.
Oh, I can't remember him. The one that married to the Caucasian guy in Adelaide. Oh, I lost him. Well, I remember him because he's really funny. Because when I was 20 years old, I broke up with my partner for James, and then that Filipino guy. That's when I met him. He actually came to the flat that I live in, which is in Regan Street, somewhere around Alma Road. I know where that is, but I can't be bothered. I might go there one day. What happened there? Oh, my mum. Oh yeah, I was really poor. I'm really poor. I didn't have anything. Like, I didn't have any beds, food, anything. I was on a dole and I didn't have anything. And then what happened was, that's when I started to meet Olga Sutcliffe. I started to open a restaurant called Dragon Heaven, or Heavenly Dragon. And that's when I started with Bankruptcy by Telstra, which was $10,000 or something. That's when I was really young. And what happened with that Filipino guy, was that he used to take me there. There was a danger policy in here as well with the gay guy. But anyway, I'll tell you a story about that. It was really weird. What happened was, I have just a school bag, just a little bag. I put clothes in. Then I went to his house in Springvale. So when I went to his house in Springvale, he said to me, "Oh, can you cook me a party dinner?" And then I started to cook the baby octopus and prawns and stuff like that. But I was really young. I was only 20 years old. I don't know how to cook very well. And then that's when Jason was his name. He's really camp, Jason. He lives in Turak, and his boyfriend is actually Azif. I can't pronounce that. You know, as if, but the pronunciation of Lotox or something is called Azif, kind of like Abric or something. I don't know how to pronounce that. But anyway, Jason gave me $40 because I didn't have any money because I was so poor. I would have got lost. I would have been sleeping in the street. Yes, my friends. I would end up sleeping in the street. So I started the restaurant called Heavenly Dragon or Dragon's Heaven or something like that. And that's when I met Olga. And then Olga was with Paul as well. I think his name is Paul. Hairdresser. He's gay and he's a hairdresser. But anyway, Olga helped me a lot as well because she gave me money and stuff like that. And I grew up with Olga, and that's how I helped Olga to increase the business, and etc. etc. But Indra is a really nice. He's like quite muscly. Indra. He's really short. Like he's down here somewhere. Down here. He's very short. Not like a midget. Just a bit taller than a midget. Probably 5 foot something. But anyway, Indra, like he's like this. Indra. Yeah, he's a really nice guy, Indra. Anyway, the yeah. Later on, my partner came back and we got back together because I was 20 years old. Pretty funny. What else am I gonna say? Don't know. The food condition of the nutrition is based upon the a certain amount of the ingredient, because the ingredient will taste the phlegm of oh, I'm not ready as yet for the food. Doesn't happen all the time. But anyway, Indra is a really nice guy. He's a really nice guy, Indra. We're no longer together because we grew up. Now I'm 40 years old. Techno is 45 or 50, and Indra is similar. So I was pretty young back then, but anyway, don't worry about it. We used to go to Dome, the Exchange, the Pure, and Chase, that nightclub in Chapel Street with the Filipino guy. That's when, and we went to the one around Dome. The Dome closed, and then we went to where Chevron is, the bar, and then it starts with R. I don't remember that. Don't worry about it. That was a beautiful a nightclub with a techno, and that's when Jennifer, Gary, and us we start going there. But anyway, ecstasy don't work anymore. Oh yeah, what was I gonna say? There's a problem with the guy. Oh, when I broke up with Gary, and my 20 years old, there was another Asian guy called Steve. His name is Steve. He had an old 300Z, the older one than mine. He's a nice guy. And then what happened was, he actually there was a guy, a Caucasian guy, like really handsome guy, right, sitting where the pew is. I know where the park is, the car park, sorry, because I was really young. And then he was in the Honda Prulu. He was sitting in the Honda Prulu, and because Steve was actually driving me back to Reagan Street or whatever, I had a chat to that guy in the car. Like, he just parked his car on the steering wheel, and I go, "Hi, how are you?" Blah blah. He said, "Yeah, good, thanks." Blah 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 blah. And then I said, "Oh, I got to go home because my friends drive me home." And he goes, "Oh, I'll drive you home." And I go, "What?" I was really a bit scared, just in case, because I thought I was 20 years old. If I end up in there, if it is bisexual guy or straight guy, he probably bash me up. You know, drive you, kidnap. It's called kidnap. I thought, oh no, what happens if it's kidnapped? And then Steve come, go, Alan, go, let's go. So, but that's still when I was really young. It's called kidnap. I thought he's gonna kidnap me, so that's why I didn't. Lucky that because I have a true heart. Lucky sometime I'll just go, oh, I better not do that. So that's when Steve said, oh, I'll drive you home. But anyway, that's an old story. Anyway. The real partner is hard to find based upon the acquaintance. The acquaintance of the network is to build the relationship to the amphetamine, and each amphetamine is a controller to pronounce the gargoyle. But anyway, in return to the development of Inferno technology, the data center will actually e-SATA itself into the data of a formula and also to position itself into the area of expertise. If there is an intuition of the mind power, the reversity of the imprint will design itself into the data of networking before the peripheralium will actually timeshare itself into a beam. And each beam is a network of the hierarchy. But anyway, it's just an old story about when I was 20 years old. That's 20 years ago, because I'm 40 now. I'm 40. I'm bloody 40 years old. But anyway, oh God. Oh jeez. I'll forget about it. Anyway. Indra. Yeah, Indra. I will. They're all gone. All my old friends are gone. I will. That's what happens, yeah, like when you're at school, you become friends, and later on, after you're 12, you finish school, and some of the friends you keep, and some of the friends you don't meet anymore. I mean, Tom was actually really smart to be a math at school. He's actually like, further maths was when my mum bought me a book to study maths is called further math, which is for people who doesn't know math or can't calculate very well. The other one at school was actually a higher one, so Tom was really smart, and Thomas was actually end up in the Alfred Hospital for being mental or something. Huh? Probably. They used to be, Tom and Thomas used to be at school all the grade A and A plus, but something happened to Thomas, so in that way I don't know. But anyway, he's fine. I used to invite Thomas to where my mum lives now when I was young, but don't worry about that. That's an old story. No, can't do that. But anyway. The asasi of a formula to build the relationship with develop the node of an area into the function of order of expertise and to realize the decimal of 348 and 241, which is an infli. The infli is a network of a program by asasi and to degrade the element of inflow technology in that way is assumption the order of the expertise and to realize the signal of 338 and 349. When we have the satellite, I was talking to my partner, when we have the satellite, it will help SES, the rescue people, you know what I mean? Because if there is people who goes camping in the national forest or forest thing that the government don't allow people to do how to cut those trees, you know, not native forest, but natural forest or whatever, you know, that forest is. If someone goes in the forest and they have the mobile phone, you actually can't track them because the antenna is not there. So if you have the satellite, you can have a GPS or into your phone. So when you do that, is actually, if I go camping, right, with my sleeping bag and whatever, anaconda, if there is a cave and I want to climb down the cave and I got lost, and if there is an SOS, emergency call, you can actually call police and ambulance. But the police and ambulance people won't be able to track me down because they don't know where I am. I don't know where I am in the forest. You never know. I get lost. You get lost too. So with the native tree or the satellite, when that happens, you can actually track them. So when you track them on your map for SES, it's to help you guys track them for the safety and to guard the relationship. So in that way, my GPS, it tells me where to drive and whatever, and it tracks me down. But in that way, it hasn't completely tracked me down, but it just tells me where to go. So when I type in address and whatever, wherever I want to go, it was like drive left, drive right, reverse, you are 2 doors down, and then it tracks camera, speed camera, and it tracks light. Vic Road, you know the lights like red, amber, and green. It tracks that down, so it beeps, and also TAC would know the speed camera. So when it goes past, when I go past, a speed camera will go beep, beep, beep. It's a speed camera, so you know which one's which. So it does track the speed camera, and it also track the lights. You know the traffic. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's called traffic lights. It tracks the traffic light. In that way, it's probably the satellite. I don't know. I don't know is that a satellite or not. But next time I will go camping or whatever, and then let's see when I go walk in the forest. So when I walk in the forest, I'll record it for you. But I don't know what forest is what. So I have to find a forest and then just walk in there and let's see where the beam are and to track it. So then it would say something like turn left to the right tree, cave 8, cave 9, cave 2. I don't know. So I don't know what that is. But anyway, the infinimine is part of a formula to work out the instruction of damaged material. The damaged material is unaligning itself into the data of sharing and to mature its age of welfare. The consumption of order is an expertise into a dimension of the water chemistry, because the water chemistry is a holder to reverse into the intra-implar. Intra-implar is the way that the ground floor will seed itself into the growth of your wealth. The growth of your wealth is the power of infra. The power of infra is a way for the pronunciation. I'm looking forward to meet a new doctor so that the doctor can be with Dr. Sandra Farquharson to interact with the words. It will help the computer system a lot to microchip for NASA and also to share into the network of a Prulu. The Prulu, or based upon Honda, the Prelu, will also inline itself into the intellectual competition of New Andrew for the politics and Itakuna or something in that relation of a development of your pronunciation to computerize the system, because this iPhone 5 works when I type, so in that way it's pretty good, but some words are accurate, some words are not accurate. It just depends. That's why I'm recording a lot. Sometimes when I type as well, because it's a math and it's a formulation to help the media, which is, you know, by Jamie, one of my old friends in PHPBB is Jamie. Neil actually recommended Jamie because Jamie is by media. Media is like TV, radio station, mobile device, etc., in that way. Watson Law is my sister in and tool. Watson Law teach me vector graphics, and also that's when I started to fall in love with digital art. Digital art, Andy was actually using Max. Yeah, he used Max, Andy. Aaron Martin is actually a not chlorine, not Gothics, but starts with C, based upon his article. Kind of like he's a wizard. Aaron is a wizard. Andy lives in the planet Moon. Watson Law is actually Watson Law helped me with vector graphics and color. So Watson Law helped me to learn how to color. and stuff like that, because I was so young learning art, and in that way I didn't know any color. Like common colors, blue, green, brown, pink, white, whatever. But when you design things, you have to mixture the color. So being an art director, Justin Fox, you know more than me about the interacting of the intuition of your mind. So when you design things, your creativity will actually idea itself into the data center of a message, and each message is a component of Area 52 and Area 53, because based upon the old documentary in the US, there was a UFO ship. Yes, in the US, Area 51, someone found a piece of aluminum. It's called the metal aluminum, not aluminum, aluminum. Aluminum is the correct metal. The aluminum, that aluminum is the correct metal in the US Area 51. That's an old documentary. That is from the US, UFO. So if we can get that metal aluminum, not aluminium, aluminum, we can actually, Gene Neal can actually chemically make one of those for the satellite. So when I get that, we will win. Okay. The amphetamine is part of the imprint of design and to network into the component of Area 52.5 and Area 53.6. Locally, the network of a subdivider is based upon the airwave of the sixth ground. The sixth ground is based upon the amphetamine is to unlearn itself into the track feed, and each track feed is an area of the expertise to realize the decimal of function. The ordering system of this function is to undo the draft of tissue paper and to work out the grid system, because the grid system, to create a formula, you can also summation into the ordering system of the expertise and to realize the decimal of 3.49 and also 3.46, which is a substitute of a divider. In that way, the divider will actually inline itself into a data center and to network into a gram of 3.48 and 2.49. The decimal of the color is to scintillate into a formulation by the period table, and each period table is to amphetamine the way it works and to also correspond with the CDAT. The CDAT, yes. CDAT is MD563434962 and also 0 times 2.643824. MCDAT is a microfiber split system of the microchip into the network of the brain cell. Because when you create the computer system based upon the mother mainframe, if you have one of those microchips, you can actually detect delay. When you detect delay, you can realize where the tracks are, and each tracks is to equalize the decimal of 6.49 and 6.24, which is a subdivider into the amphetamine. And each amphetamine is the way that it also controls the maturity and to undo the soft tissue of the time sharing. These things will take me a long time, so don't worry about this, Optus, because based upon the Broadcom, I will help you guys to understand the Broadcom and the Wi-Fi by accessing the point into the black spot. And each black spot is a decimal of your profits. So whatever you work by and whatever you come by, I will help you guys to make the profit. So based upon the profit, it will share into the different nationality and to understand the implementation of the in-try way. The formulation of a Fury controller is to reverse itself into the data of 1, which may also assumption into each decimal. In that way, once the governor understand my grandfather, which is my mom's dad, in that way, once you understood your once you understood the grammar, the grammar, you can also delay the deletion of the governor, because in that way we are interacting with the policy, and each policy for the politeness of area of expertise we will decimal into the 83468 and 83429, which is a substitute of a amphetamine, and in that way the amphetamine is the network of 1 and to subsidize into 2.35. Look at this. The correspondence of the network is to compose itself into a network of 1. In this way, the amphetamine, yes, this is the metal color for the UFO. See? Look, I'm further away. This is not an aura, but it's... What did I say about the metal from the UFO? I don't remember. Not aluminium, but the other one, sorry. See? Sorry, I'm concentrating. See? In this way, once you understood the asasi, you will formulate into the amphetamine, and each amphetamine is to network into 1, by and to from. Oh, it's changing the color. It's beautiful. But in that way, you are reworking into the path event of a correspondent of a finder, and to unsolute the data of the network, and to subsidize into the sibilum, and each sibilum based upon the juvenile, my brother Kung, is an A grade D463 MD56348, tracking into a cat, and to equalize the decimal of the formulation. In that way, the formulation for Indra is to equalize the nutrition by Indra, and to map the condition of the ingredients. The ingredients is by a supplement of understanding the bond of your growth, and the bond of your growth is a money machine, and each money machine is to understand chaos, because in return the degradation of the chaos is to compass the not the coordinate but compass the stacks, and each stacks you have to equalize the computer system. So I can't wait to buy the godlike computer when this computer is ready. This computer is still not ready because it has 2 controllers, etc, etc. This computer, you will love this computer, but later on I will get the Crossfire for ATI, and to share into another 39.6 bit, and to equalize the video card, because we won Microsoft. We actually won. I have a 64-bit. Is it? Oh, I don't remember. Oh, you know, video card, 64-bit. Yeah, 64-bit one. We won the 64-bit. So ordering the system of the bit is to equalize the microfiber, and each microfiber is to map the condition of the UFO. We got the first metal in relation to the UFO, but this is just a formulation to the UFO. But once we achieve the UFO, the traction of the satellite is to equalize Anaconda, to sell the productivity and advent into a node of an area, and the Skyline one is to have a car show. So when you have a car show, you are seducing or seducting or whatever it is, based upon police people. A little bit of, you know, legal stuff. Young people will love it. So in that way, we're making profit and stuff like that. Everyone that has a car is going to cost a shitload of money. So I can't wait to modify my 300Z. So it's all the original parts is actually from Japan. Yes, it's from Japan. But later on, I'll modify that. But anyway, the amphetamine is based upon the networking of 1 to higher the graft tissue of the amphetamine. And each amphetamine is based upon the alama. The alama by a degradation of a geographics, and to share into its nutrition. And each nutrition is to order the expertise, and to uneven order the uneven expertise, to flux and inflate into a SATA, flux and inflate into the SATA. In that way, the SATA will mature its age into the network of its correspondence, and to network into a de-learn motion. The de-learn motion is based upon the sharing of a car, and each car is to equalize the car point of sales, to mature its age into the function of 1, and to decimal the formulation of returning home into the guardian. And each guardian is to build the relationship to hire the correct material by the amphetamine. Because once we have the amphetamine, the formulation of the amphetamine is to network into its correspondence for its maturity to age the welfare, Cindy. When you age the welfare based upon the nursery, you, Cindy, got to understand the well of and on into the node of each advert into the promo. Because in relation to the promo, the time spell will actually be a which to correct the correspondence of its network and to off the data center of the deletion. In that way, the networking of a program, you can also infiltrate itself into the data of its node off and out on, which is by the amina, which is AAG1. It's by gravity. Like that. That's foxes or dog's fur. That's by the gravity. You got 1 point. And also, the gravity in my big fish tank, that's for the witches only. That is actually, I'll calculate that later based upon the gargoyle. Yes, I'll calculate gargoyle. The gargoyle is not. I can't tell you a story about the gargoyles yet. Based upon the devil, I did see the devil in Mentone when I was young, but I don't know what he is. Doesn't bother me. The gargoyle is actually different, but the evilness of the gargoyle is a don't know yet. Next time I'll give you a present about the gargoyle and stuff and tell you, give you an explanation about the gargoyle and stuff like that. Because based upon the murderer, the ordering system of the assassin is also to understand the non-program of a message and its component. And each component we will share into the money. When we share into the money, we will unhire and hire the cat into the lease agreement. And each lease agreement we will actually jam into the hijack. When we jam into the hijack, we will need to assassinate the non-assassin. When we assassinate into the non-assassin is a period table by the period program. And when we do that, the correct conjunction, yes, the correct conjunction of an inflow is based upon your intuition of your mind power. It's called conjunction. In that way, the conjunction of the tracker and e-turning will formulate into a port out and even order the dysfunctional ordering system of node 834 and node 839, which is by Kunalaka or Tunalama or Tulananda or Tulanana or Tuninala or Tunalana. Toyong. Toyong is a Trojan in Greek. Trojan. Oh, you know, in Greece or Greek, there's a big Trojan. I love that one in Greece. You know, in Greece, you know your history more than me. Trojan. But the computer system has a visual virus as well based upon Trojan. Yes, it does. But once you understood the virus and DOS attack and also BIOS, it will be binary. And also in the binary, it will share into the network of the code system. So in this way, we're working together to interact with the policy and to equalize the law. When we equalize the law, the understanding of the function is to order the decimal of a timer to position yourself into the network of a component. And each component is to area the interests of expertise and to realize its balance. Once we realize the balance, handshake P2P is 348294663 and handshake P2P is 3.4682158662 Trojan 182968443 XY3XB1 B6 B5 B10 B1 YMG1 YM X2314648 conjunction into and interact with hijack, and each hijack is a message to the program of the microfiber. Because in the computer system, whoever developed the computer system know more about the motherboard and chipboard and stuff like that than me. But the microfiber, you got to understand the material gene to actually understood Gabrielli as well. In relation to Gabrielli, Tango, I don't know, can't pronounce the surname. In relation to Gabrielli, the formulation of a theory tension is to match the condition of path even and to inner solve the problem solver. I'll record this for an hour. But anyway, in that way, the formulation of the network is to conduct is in degree and also to share into its age of welfare and to understand the condition of pathology and to message the component, because each component you are sharing into the network of one and also to out on the data of its material. Once you have the out on in relationship to build the fish tank by acrylic, is to map the condition of your promo for advert. In that way, Cindy, you can also time share into its maturity and to understand the component of a SCAT, SCART, which is this one. This is very expensive, SCAT. You know which one I have. That's a satellite. Little bits and pieces will help you guys understand the promo and to selling the material, because when we make a profit, we'll all be happy. When we get award, we'll all be happy, and in that way, we have to conducting the orchestra by the organic acting and also to share into the network of one, which is a subdivider by a ISO 39 and also ISO 38246821, which is a correct correspondence of the pathology and to message the component. And each component is to area the interest of expertise and to realize the modem. Later on, I'll help Octus with this modem. So, when the garage is set up, it will be a space station, student, teacher, etc. I don't know. Doesn't really bother me. I'm not paying them, but you deal with them. And accountant will have a present. But be careful, this thing for accountant is really dangerous, which means it's very hard for you to work out the assets and its liability. So, accountant, you have a present, but it would take us time in relation to the garage and the medieval for King Arthur and also the Viking. The Viking does not have a space as yet. So either or not, the Viking can be in the shed, which I like hen, chicken. I eat chicken, but not too much, a little bit. But anyway, Viking might be in the shed, because my dad used to have a shed, or somewhere, I don't know. But leave it as it is, because the function of the collaboration will share into the feed of the element, because I remember Brendan, I used to work with Brendan and 4 other people, do you know what I mean? Like at 6 and 6, Warragul, Oakley South. But based upon the policy, I will share into the network of them as well for an accountant and to feed into the legislation. And each legislation we will compromise, yes, the conjunction. When we compromise the conjunction, we will equilibrium the hellholder. I cannot work out the hellholder as yet, because based upon the devil, the devil is quite dangerous, yes, but the devil, what? The devil is my uncle. Sorry, I don't remember. I have a short memory. 1 minute I remember, next minute I don't remember. But the devil is my uncle. Things that I can change about those. Devil is my uncle. But based upon Papa and Galicia, is to network into the component of the collab. And when you collab into the right mineral and the material, you yourself will actually have a UFO. So when you have a UFO, you will be born the birth of growth in relation to what I've just recorded. It's Amphi, another metal. But these things are just metal, but it's very hard to get the metal. So when I find the metal, we can build the spaceship and space station and rockets and missiles and stuff like that for NASA and army men and army women. In that way, the pronunciation of the reminder is based upon the function of the expertise, and to realize the decimal of 3489 and 3486, which is a correspondence of its maturity, and to understand the network of one, which is a subdivider into an array of the delay system, because each delay system is to compound the maturity and to understand the network of a hellholder by murdering into a system of 25 by the exhaustion, and also to interact with the jet speed. And each jet speed is by Morris Blackburn, and to equalize the decimal of 435 and 6241, which is a subdivider into a solemn, and each solemn to plant the grade and to plan the intellectual copyright by Newell. You have to map the condition of your policy logistically. You have to equalize logics, and to AFSTM, it's called AFSTM, the amphetamine, AFSTM, the amphetamine, AFSTM, the amphetamine, ASTM, the amphetamine, ASTM, amphetamine. In that way, ASTM is a root of a tree, and also to share into the seeds. And each seeds that you get, you will compromise into the decimal of the 11th program of the non-diameter of a sister to brother, and to equalize the ancient world. In that way, the ancient world will compromise the issue of 3456 and 3494, which is a subdivision of a root. So in that root, the Asasi will design into a formulation and to network into a program of 6 decimal. In the correct correspondence of the 6 decimal, the formulation will formulate into a formula. Oh, some of the video, it will take a while, this video, sorry. When it's a half an hour, it take a while to upload. But anyway, your browser, oh, can't be bothered. Leave that one. Oh, what's this? I'm uploading my dad about my cooking on Facebook, and it shows 16.7%. Your browser is not supporting blah blah. Same thing. So later on, I'll upload that to YouTube. So don't worry about that. If stuff don't allow me to upload on Facebook, I'll upload on YouTube. Don't worry about it. It will help you guys to understand the formula, and also to message the component of the area of interest, and also to expertise the equalization of your Afghanistan, and to degrade into the Sahara. The Sahara or Sarah is a time to formulate into the disability to support the pension, and to network into the program of the legislation conjunctionally. In that way, conjunctionally is the hierarchy of the non-diameter of the police army, and to guard the relationship of a damned machine, the network of one. Each component is an area of your investigation into a delotion of a period table, and to map the condition of a non-Asasi. That is the period table, which is one grid. That grid look like a house, right? One grid, 2 grid, 3 grid, 5 grid, 6 grid. That is a table timer to Asasi, the non-degradation of the table timer, and also to network into the component of 1, which is to balance itself into the decimal of 9438 and 2.456384 to satellite the forest correctly. In that way, based upon the GPS, you can actually don't know, you need a satellite. There's GPS that sell at JB Hi-Fi and stuff like that, but you actually need a satellite, my friends. You need a satellite
to actually produce that one and to make profit. But at the moment, it's not available. It's available for me because I'm a short driver, or whatever you call it. Only 1 minute I know what to drive, and the next minute I don't know what to drive. That's why I use the GPS. But later on, I don't know where I'm going. I get lost. I get lost a lot. So the GPS is pretty good by the satellite. So I think it's a satellite. I think so. My GPS is a satellite. See? But I'll test the GPS later, probably end of this year in summer or something. I'll go to the forest and just let's see where if it can direct me where to go in the forest. So, and then I'll take my phone if there's no antenna in the forest, and let's see where it is. Because if there's a black spot, the satellite will interact with it as well. So wherever the black spot is, it will actually satellite into the depth of the star. And the depth of the star is actually the core Rex of this planet Earth. So if it tracks down there, which means the unequal balance of the devil cannot be tracked. Because when he tracks things, he has to equalize the upper ground into the hemisphere, to equalize the moon for Andy, and to message the component of Watson law, to equalize the policy and to legislate the legal math condition of these, and to share into the network of its component into the conjunction. Each conjunction is a category of track 3.4 and 2.4, 2.46832, 2.46845, 2.46856, 2.46841. What is Poor? P-O-O-R. And a dog has what? And a bear has what? Paw. P-A-R. P-A-W, sorry. Pawpaw. You know what pawpaw is? It's a fruit. In that way, the understanding of the nutrition is to understand the correct contour of the math condition and to equalize the injection of the third engine. In the third engine, once Satar actually delete itself into the murderer, is to equalize the decimal of hexi to oil wave 3.653426162, and to unequalize the condition of your chaos and to cap the condition of your injection in relation to the inner bastion of the inflation. The inner bastion of inflation is by the jet speed into stealth airline, and also to understand the network of the gravity, as each gravity you are sharing into a balloon, and to share into the math condition of a formula to actually undelete itself into a feather, because each feather is, you know, bird has feather, but each feather is to message the component of 1.438 and 1.469 to equalize the decimal of 3.421 and 2.462. When you realize the decimal of the digital color is to unturn the data of the network into the component of 1.4 and 6.49. The key factor in life Dan Murphy, the key factor in life, Dan Murphy, is to understand the alcohol. Once you understood the alcohol, the formulation of a theory controller is to unlogics its speed capacity and to velocitate into the gravity of the corrects, and each correct is binary based upon the texture, and when you have the binary based upon the texture is to equalize the math of geologics, conjunction of fairness, murder, function order, democrat, and also equalize math condition of intuition, and to innovate itself into the inner notion, and to align itself into the algorithm of the nation. Gotcha. Anyway, the understanding of life is based on the inflow of technology, because in return nationally, once you understood the decimal of the A439 and A465 is a component area of the expertise, and to equalize the decimal of 3.41 and 2.48, which is an equilibrium of the condition of your pathway, and to decimal the 3.58 and 3.59. The condition of pathology is to component is area of expertise, and to decimal
the non-diffuction. The non-diffuction is based upon the intuition of your puzzle and to equalize the math condition of pathology. Once you have been born into the message of a puzzler is to equalize the condition of pathway and also unburn itself into the data of the message. In that way, its component is an area of the expertise to realize the digital color of its function before the ordering system can be nutrition into an area of inflation and to understand the decimal of colorful world. I know it's quite tiring for me to record this story for you and help you guys to understand the formula and stuff like that, but I hope you guys don't mind. But anyway, the ordering system of a formula can also mathematically hold on into the data of the message and its component. As each component that we share into the network of one, the component of an area of expertise is to realize the decimal of 3.49 and also to function into the expertise of recognition. The recognition of the conjunction is to formulate itself into the data of a reversity of a householder and to element the design of inflation. Because each inflation is a network of one and the area of expertise and to unequal the decimal of 3.49 and 2.468, which is a householder based upon the reversity of the intray and also to conduct itself into the hierarchy of the Fourier controller. In that way, the formulation of the network is to formulate into the area of expertise and to realize the decimal of 2.34 and 2.68. Hey, that's Mel Gibson. What? Oh, yeah. How are you going? It's tiring. I can't be bothered. I think I'm finished now. I was going to record for an hour. I can't be bothered. Bed. Yeah, I can't be bothered. Anyway. Functioning one area conjunct into an injection by drugs. Drugs. That is a pronunciation for a vampire. Drugs. Drugs. Bye bye for now.